Okay, TA.
This the Carousel, the host Al Flemings. Came to lock the game like my name Val Demings. Fantasy and flavors,
Yeah.
new addition. The intro to the show is brought by True Ambition. Round and round we go, shouts out to Eric Wilson. Knowledge for your wins, all you gotta do is listen. Hungry for info, food for thought, got all your fixing. You know, FOO, value facts over opinion. 4-3-3-4, my defense beats our system. Injury report,
Flex.
winning while I'm grinning. Dominate the point of attack from the line of scrimmage. For long as you can't beat my squad, go gather all your minions. Carousel,
This
carousel,
is
carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off.
what?
Knock 'em out.
Welcome back to the Carousel. I'm Alex Fleming. I'll be taking you on this ride across the country, talking to NFL fans about how they feel the season is going, who you need to pick up, who's hot, and what the hell is going on. We don't have a lot of time. Let's go straight to New England. Let's bring in Sean. How you doing, good sir?
I'm well, Alex. How are you?
Man, it's all business tonight. Take 30 seconds, let the people know who you are and where they can find you. Let's talk some in New England football.
I'm Sean Farhadian, member of the Armchair Sports Guys. Check us out. We do a live show Wednesdays and Saturday mornings. Patriots fan, ready to get into it. Let's go.
All right. Superman, nope. Captain America is back. No more COVID test for him. You guys had almost 2 weeks off. Not quite. Not your fault. We feel that. This team's rootable. This team's easy to like. You get Denver. Cam's healthy. Damian Harris, is he the back? Are we going to get a Damiere Byrd signing? Talk to me.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of Damian Harris on Sunday. Obviously our offensive line's been playing well. We've been able to move the ball, running. You saw that a little bit in Kansas City when Cam was out. You saw Hoyer commanded the offense a little bit with the running game. Damian Harris over 100 yards on 11 carries. He looked pretty good, especially with Cam back. They could do a lot more with the offense rather than with Brian. With Hoyer or with Jarrett Stidham. The run-pass option is there now. You'll see Harris probably taking a lot of handoffs from Cam, and Cam probably running himself as well. So I think, you'll see a lot on the ground this weekend.
All right. If I'm a New England Patriot fan, I'm asking myself, where the hell is the tight end in this offense? Because Cam's been able to get the running game going, run the ball himself, and every now and then he's taking shots. Edelman's his dog. He's getting N'Keal Harry and Bird in the mix. Where's the tight end?
We've been asking ourselves that for a couple of years now in New England. Ever since Gronkowski retired, haven't really had much of a number one option at tight end. I know they drafted 2 rookies this year. You haven't heard anything about them. Haven't really seen them on the field. That's Devin CSC. I heard a lot coming to him out of college with him. Thought he might be able to step into that role. It looks like Ryan Izzo is really the only guy that gets on the field for him right now, and they haven't really. Him and Cam or him and Hoyer, none of them have really developed a rapport. He overthrowing them all against Kansas City. Mostly just blocking right now from the tight end. So I don't think there's really anything there to talk about in terms of anything fantasy or anybody really pass catching. It's mostly just 2 tight end sets blocking for the running backs right now.
All right, then let me get it real with you then. No Gilmore, COVID. He's got to sit out 2 weeks regardless. He caught it early last week after Mahomes' hug. We all know
he was back at practice today. He got cleared today. He was back at practice today. So Gilmore's a go for Sunday.
He's asymptomatic. He's a go.
Yeah, he's a go. Yep. He was back. He got cleared today. He was back out on the field today for the Patriots. Yep.
Look at that inside info. That's nice.
Yeah.
Tim Patrick,
yeah.
What's the plan on slowing him down? Didn't think you'd have Gilmore. Now that you do, what threat does Denver give you? No Melvin Gordon, by the way.
No Melvin Gordon. So, that's good because the Patriots have struggled against the run a little bit so far this season. Tim Patrick, he's got a lot of skill. This guy can move. He can make people miss, and especially Jerry Jeudy as well. They're going to have their hands full. Our secondary is deep, and it definitely helps that Gilmore's back because, obviously, Defensive Player of the Year, shutdown type of guy. Has gotten burned a little bit this year. Kansas City was a rough one for him. Seattle, a little bit rough for him with DK Metcalf, but you'd rather have him on the field than anybody else, and I think they'll probably do what they've been doing. They did a pretty good job of keeping Kansas City's offense in check for almost 3 quarters with their schemes and their cover twos. And I think you'll see a little bit of zone defense against the Denver to come out, kind of see where Drew Lock's at. I mean, he's coming back off an injury too, so they got to see where he's at. But the secondary is probably not my concern. I mean, if Melvin Gordon was in this game, I'd be a little more concerned because the front seven hasn't been great at stopping the run. But in terms of the passing game, I guess they'll let them get what they can underneath, and probably just don't let them go over the top and beat them for any big plays.
Sean, thank you for the knowledge. I'll be seeing you.
All right, my man. Take it easy.
All right. We did it. We talked about it. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Can you bring in ladies? Are the ladies in the house?
Hola.
Goodness. Miss Price, Miss Ashton. Oh, look at you.
Her hair's all pretty.
I wish we had a better thing to talk about right now, but you know what? I'm going to take a back seat. I'm just going to listen to you two. Ladies, tell me how you feel about Dak. Take your time.
Stacey, you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You can go ahead.
Okay, so devastation. That's how it feels. We went into this season and Dak's contract was questionable. He signed a free agent deal for $3.14 million, and then his extension contract is still up in the air. And I really think he just came out on the field for the last 4 games and he just played his heart out. And I think, he was on the road to possibly break in Peyton's passing yardage record. So it's devastating for us, but I think Andy is a solid backup. And I think that, the AFC treats their quarterbacks much different than the NFC. So coming into the NFC, he might have been a starting quarterback somewhere else. I don't think that he necessarily got the best deal in Cincinnati. And I think he might carry us to at least 8-8. I'm still thinking, and a possible 9-7. Hopes are high. And I think that one of the biggest advantages that's going to be with Andy is that he's a hometown guy. He's a Texas boy. And then we signed Garrett Gilbert as another backup, and he's also a hometown guy. He played for UT. He played for SMU. So I think that's going to be a major advantage that they're going to be home in Texas representing their home state.
All right, Stacey, do your thing.
So I'll start by talking about Dak. Seeing the injury, it was devastating. Seeing his reaction to the injury, I mean, it was bad. It was bad. And we've talked over it 1,000 times. We've all seen the video. It was bad. But I think that Dak proved who he is in those first 4 games. I mean, the records that he broke leading up to that, the man's going to get paid. He deserves to get paid. He is highly talented. He's highly skilled. And I've touted that for ages. People think, and one point I'd like to make, those same people right now, they're very angry that Jerry Jones didn't already pay him. They didn't already agree to a contract. Are the same people that would, here's looking at you, Stephen A. Smith. Those are the same people that when Dak was injured and he got this high contract would be saying, oh, you paid this guy and look what happened. That's the nature of the beast. People are going to say Jerry should have paid him. They're going to say that he shouldn't have paid him. They're going to, no matter what we do as Cowboys, it's going to be wrong. That being said, he is highly talented. He is highly skilled. He is very positive. I shared a video earlier of him going on the way to the doctor to see his ankle and see how he's doing. He is going to train harder, I think, than anyone to get back into this and to be better than he was before, because that's who he is. I'm very proud of him. I think that he's a good person, but I think he's an excellent quarterback. Moving on to Andy Dalton, I have not been on the Andy Dalton train. I'll say that. I think that he's better than a lot of backups. I mean, hey, you start looking at backup quarterbacks, especially in a COVID year, there's not a lot of good ones out there. I think that he's a good option. However, he has got all kinds of offensive weapons out there. You can run it with Zeke and you can throw to just about anybody and someone's going to catch it. So I think that if you're talking about a backup quarterback, he's passable, but he has so many things that he can do and so many directions that he can go.
Stacey, I hate to interrupt you. I apologize for intruding on this ladies segment, but there's something you said that kind of stuck with me that I feel I have to speak on if you will just give me the platform for a few seconds.
Absolutely.
And it's very rare that I defend certain commentators. However, I am going to defend Stephen A. Smith with this regard, since you were the one who brought him up. I think from the perspective of, he's looking at this from the perspective of, if this was Tony Romo. And I think that's the piece that people miss. He's not saying that Dak is not worth his salt. And if anything, he's saying the opposite. If Dallas and Dak would have came to a compromise prior to the start of this season, the money factor would not have been a play. But because they could not come to an agreement, Dak did sign the $31.5 million franchise tag. He got injured, and now he's in the situation that he's in. But I feel as though there would not have been a question of the contract if his was Tony Romo. That is where I think he is coming from. I just wanted to chime that in really quick, and I'm listening. Thank you, ladies, I appreciate it.
I appreciate that, and certainly feel free to chime in anytime because we love you, Eric. But to respond to that, I would say when Tony Romo was signed to that huge contract, you weren't also looking at a contract with Ezekiel Elliott worth a buttload of money. There are finite resources, and I think that they all acknowledge that. If we want to have Dak and Zeke to crazy contracts, then we're going to have to recognize that we're not going to ever have a defense, and our defense is so suspect right now. So there's only a certain amount of money, and I think on that side of it, the money side of it, Jerry has been very clear that this is a business decision and not I don't like Dak or he's not the quarterback of the future. I think that they agreed to the franchise tag, hoping that as they push forward with Zeke's contracts and those guarantees become less, that can be guaranteed more without hurting the rest of the team. That's my feeling. Of course, I am not in their negotiations. I also felt like that they were not agreeing was a publicity stunt. I'll say that honestly. I've said it before. I think that it was just, let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys more. And how do we talk about the Cowboys more? We're not going to sign Zeke. Zeke is excellent. Dak. So
Megan, your question, Stacey, you'll have a question. Megan, expectations for this season with Andy Dalton. Stacey, considering all that's happened, A, do they keep him? B, is he a free agent? Or C, does he get a contract? Megan, go.
Well, my expectations with Andy, like I said before, I think 8-8 is still a very good possibility with Andy. I don't see Andy winning us a ton of games, but I don't see him losing us a ton of games. He's going to have to rely on Zeke and his other weapons around him. So, I mean, we have a high-powered receivers, but we forgot about Zeke ever since McCarthy came around. So, as soon as Dak was hurt, Zeke started carrying the ball successfully. So, I mean, that sucks that it took that for Zeke to get the ball. But that's the heart of our team is the run game. So I believe Andy will be able to get us through the season. On the low side, maybe 7-9.
Stacey?
I'm going to answer your question just real quick. I think that we're going to go much higher than that. And we've got a really soft schedule for the rest of the year. True. And we do have a great offense. If the defense can get their stuff together, then I think that we have a true possibility. So, not to intrude on your question, I apologize, but I just
go ahead.
had to respond to that. So,
ladies,
Dak, I think that Dak is going to get. He's going to put in the work. He's going to heal very quickly. And if we were able to make it to the playoffs, I think there's a possibility that we would see him in the playoffs because that man's going to work harder than anyone else. And yes, he is going to get his contract. They may franchise tag him again, but that's even more expensive. But I believe that they believe that Dak is the face of this team moving forward, especially after the injury, because so many people have rallied around him. I think you're going to see his jersey sales skyrocket. And he is going to be on the field every week with his team being a leader. And you're not going to find that just anywhere. He's a franchise quarterback. He is. Mm-hmm. And you take like traditional franchise quarterbacks, there's not a whole lot of them that will rally a team the way that he does, that will encourage a team even while injured. Most of them kind of sit over the back and kind of sulk whenever they're injured. When we're talking about a franchise quarterback, he's not going to sulk. He is going to be encouraging. He's going to be helping. He's going to be hoping that the ginger leprechaun can take us all the way to the Super Bowl.
Right on. Ladies, thank you for your time. Thank you for keeping it together. Good luck to the Cowboys on Monday.
Thank you.
Carousel. 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 This the carousel. On or you off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out. Carousel. 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 This the carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out.
I want smoke. It's Sunday. It's football. And if y'all remember last year, Homeboy won't be playing, but Mason Rudolph was hit with a helmet from Myles Garrett. Whole bunch of garbage going on. Pittsburgh finished 8-8, by the way. Fast forward to 2020. Big Ben back, and Myles Garrett is a beast. Let's not waste any time. Can I get Cleveland in the house?
What's good?
What's up, yo? What's up?
Good, man. How you been, Alex?
Man, I'm doing my thing. I got to go to Jacksonville on Sunday. Work. What can I say? Other than that, I'm watching Pittsburgh and Cleveland, and bro, when there's smoke, there's fire. Warning: you can't treat this kid like a kid. Enter in Daniel. How you doing, young man?
I'm doing good. How you doing, guys?
Good, man. How you doing?
Man, your group got some haters. That's between you and me, but I shake them off. I'm good. I'm still smiling. Daniel, this is the Cleveland Brown representative, Ace 365. If you don't know, I'm trying to let you know. I think Cleveland and Pittsburgh play each other on Sunday. So you guys, you know how it goes. Cleveland, you're visiting, so you're going to get 2 minutes to start this off. After that, a brief break, and then Daniel's going to let you have it for 2 minutes. We'll pause. You'll get 45 seconds to rebuttal, and then Daniel will finish it off only because he's at home. Gentlemen, no low blows. We ready?
It is.
Sure.
Do your thing, sir.
All right, man. Hey, it's Steeler Browns week. Biggest rivalry in the AFC North. It's one of those things that keeps everybody in line and keeps everybody in check. I'm just gonna start out with the fact that the Browns is rolling. They 4-1. You can't stop the run. Pittsburgh's D is okay, but they ain't really played nobody. Not compared to what the Browns just played. So it's gonna be a test for them. I don't think that they can stop the run. I don't think that they'll be able to contain Jarvis Landry or Odell Beckham. And then you still got Hunt out there, even though Chubb is out right now. This is a capable offense, and it's kind of really plug and play. So it'll be interesting to see what that defense can really do if Steelers can get back to the steel curtain and try to shut it all down. I don't think it's possible. I did see a little bit of flash from Mr. Claypool last week. That won't happen again. They'll shut that down on the Brown side, and Big Ben gonna be on his back a lot, so he's not mobile, and that offensive line is not prepared for what's coming down the pike. So, we're gonna see. It's gonna be a lot of hooting and hollering, and the Browns will be victorious when it's all said and done. So that's all I got. I'm gonna cut it short to 5 seconds to give you a little chance to think about it.
All right, Daniel. Where there's smoke, there's fire. You have 2 minutes, young man. Do your thing.
Finally, the Browns are a good team for the first time in 20 years. They're back. They're back on the map, and that's good to see. The AFC North is getting more competitive now. We've been winning a lot of times in the AFC North, but hey, the Browns and the Baltimore Ravens are being great teams now. So let's get down to business. The Browns offense runs to the run game. We've been shutting the run a lot of times the entire year. We've shot it against Saquon Barkley. We've shot it against the Broncos and the Houston Texans. The Eagles last week, our defense wasn't great. I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't great, but we were off a bye week. We need to continue to adjust, and we were off rest, so we need to build on our momentum. And our offense with Chase Claypool last week, he was showing flashes that he could be the next big wide receiver. No, he can be running type of running receiver. He's good after the catch. He's a very physical guy, and he has the size for it. It's like Calvin Johnson 2.0. No, and
Rich.
when we look at the Browns, we look at Myles Garrett on that defense. He's the spotlight of the defense. No, he's second in the league in sacks behind Aaron Donald. But I believe we can shut the run of the Browns. We did it before with the Texans with the other teams. They continue to run the game to the run. We can build it up on it and have a better defense based from the Eagles last week. Baker Mayfield still young. He can still develop. We can eat him up. Even though the Browns O line has been very good, but
All right. So as you can see, the young man's knowledgeable. I can see why he's got some haters. He did bring the fact up that he was going to try to shut down the run for Cleveland. And Cleveland, you're saying you got too many weapons, so you're expecting it's going to be Landry and OBJ. And you ignored the Claypool thing. He addressed it. So you got 45 seconds. Come real.
Oh no, I mean I did actually address the Claypool thing. I think he's he gonna be the real deal. He not Calvin Johnson worthy or what I think he did. If I remember correctly, that's what he said. Calvin Johnson type. He's not gonna be that. He's not a Megatron. That's for sure. But he is good. But I'm just gonna say this: to go back to this whole thing about them shutting down run and everything. The Steelers played teams with a combined win record of 3-15. Okay, so the players, the teams that they played, they can't run the ball. Saquon Barkley could not run the ball. Philadelphia Eagles could not run the ball. So yeah, it's going to look good there, but when they see the Browns and they see that offensive line, it's going to be a different story.
All right, so he said Houston, Philly, Denver, and New York was basically trash. X factor in this game. Nobody's talking about Juju, and nobody's talking about the tight ends of Cleveland. Daniel, do your thing.
you see, this matchup is a game worth to see. You finally face an elite team. I can say that as the Browns are an elite team, even though they face pretty good opponents. They're 4-1. We're 4-0. The one that I see hot this week is probably Juju Smith-Schuster. Yeah, Alex is right. He isn't getting talked about anymore because Chase Claypool is getting all the spotlight after his Week 4 blowout, Week 5 blowout. So yeah, I think Juju's gonna have a good game. He's gonna play in the slot more, and the defense gonna keep them in check. Ben Roethlisberger is still Ben Roethlisberger at the end of the day.
I agree with that.
All right, I got my eyes on this matchup. Gentlemen, thank you. Good luck to Cleveland and good luck to Daniel. Sir, you first. Let people know where they can find you and what you do.
Oh, you said Daniel or me?
You, sir.
Oh, me. Oh, yeah. Okay. At ASC 365 on Facebook, Twitter, all the social media outlets, and www.asc365.com.
Thank you, sir. Daniel, let the cats know where they can find you, but not me.
You can find me on Facebook on NFL GDR on Facebook. It's a group, and you can find me on my Steelers page on some Steeler fan on Facebook.
Daniel keeping it short and sweet. As I already said, I got work to do Sunday. Occupation. Daniel, keep it real. Stay blessed.
Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you off? Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out. Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off? Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out.
There's this cat on Facebook called Hustle Maine. He'll let you know how he really feels about your team, whether it's Green Bay, Detroit, or Minnesota. Why I say that? He's a Bear fan through and through. I don't think the Bears are getting the attention they deserve. They're 4-1, and they got a date with the Carolina Panthers. But let's talk to a true Bear fan. Is Travis in the building?
Travis is in the building tonight. Alex, thank you for bringing me on tonight. That smoke and mirrors Bears team at 4-1. Gotta love them, baby. Gotta love them. So, what a huge victory over the Buccaneers on Thursday night. The GOAT forgetting what down it was. Come on now. And then Bruce Arians sticking up for the man, but I digress. The Bucs sort of beat themselves last week. 11 penalties, 109 yards. Hey, but like I said, we will take it, Alex. 4-1 isn't too bad. The Bears are going to Carolina this weekend. They got a semi-tough matchup, and there's some things that they can definitely take advantage of. The Panthers did hold Matt Ryan to 226 last week. He finished the game with a QBR of just 38.6, but Ridley went crazy, and that's where my boy Allen Robinson comes into play, because he is definitely starting to create some synergy with the man, Nick Foles. Foles has a tendency to struggle a little bit early there, Alex, but as the course of the game goes on, Foles starts to get better, seeing some things. And hey, I've been a guy that likes to take shots at Matt Nagy, but last week's game plan was damn good. And let's get this running game back in play, because it struggled all year. But going up against this Carolina defense, they have some opportunity.
All right, real talk. You gave me a lot to rebuttal on. One, was it just me, or was Robinson cooking Carlton Davis last week? Number two, why are we not using Monty? What's up with not using Monty? Something's got to happen with Monty. Number three, Mr. Graham is a mismatch, and I can see them using him against these linebackers of the Carolina Panthers. Give me the threat on Carolina that got your eye, and give me a hot boy for the Chicago Bears this Sunday.
I love Jimmy Graham this week. He's been a red zone monster with 4 touchdowns. He's got more touchdowns this year than he did with the Packers the 2 years that he was with them. He's got an awesome matchup against Tahir Whitehead, 110 passer rating against, 84.6 completions when targeted. Come on, Jimmy Graham. This could be the matchup we're looking for. Also, Allen Robinson. And let's get Montgomery going. They have a big defensive issue with one of their best players being out on the defensive line. I'm looking for his name right now. Where is it at my notes?
Unless it's Derek Brown, it doesn't matter. He's your problem.
Pardon? What's that?
Unless it's Derek Brown, it doesn't matter. He's your problem. Derek Brown out of Auburn.
They'll try to double him. But, we do have an issue with our offensive line coach, Luis Castillo, being out this week due to COVID. So let's see what happens with the Bears. They've struggled with the offensive line, but Nick Foles does like to get the ball out quick, early and often, and let's get Anthony Miller more involved this week. He did have a couple nice plays. Did hit Montgomery, also had a nice play at the end of the game on that wheel route that led to the game-winning field goal for the Bears. Hey, I like this team. I like this matchup. This could be the 5-1 Bears we're looking at going into a very tough stretch against the Rams and the New Orleans Saints, which both of those matchups I don't care for at all.
All right, let's keep it real. Speed kills. I mentioned this earlier this week. Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore. Right now, they're the leading wide receivers in the NFC South. I'm just telling the facts.
Sure.
I love Fuller, and I love Eddie Jackson in the back, but the problem is the other one, because DJ Moore will burn you. Plus, running game. Okay, he's not CMC, but Davis has been running like lights out this year. And we let go of run DMC with Davis, Montgomery, and Cohen just last year. So what do you expect the defense to do against Davis, and how are we going to slow down those wide receivers?
I'll tell you what, they have struggled at times against the run, but Davis has also been a beast out of the backfield. He's averaging 7.5 catches a game, 51 yards. That could be an issue. But I do like Jason Johnson, the rookie, who's covered the number one. He was covering Mike Evans last week, even though Evans was dinged up. That was the matchup most of the night, and he did a pretty darn good job for the Bears. So I like what the rookie's doing on the one end. Kyle Fuller's having a great year. But Teddy Bridgewater, 72.6% completion percentage. He's number 2 in the league right now, Alex, and he's having a really strong year. So Bears have a pretty tough matchup, but I do like their chances going into Carolina this weekend.
All right. One love. Thank you, Travis. Hey, Travis, take 20 seconds. Let the people know where the hell they can find you.
They can find me on Travis RSEN on Twitter, Instagram, rocketsports-ent.com. Check it out for all your sports local sports, national sports, and all your rock and heavy metal. RocketSports-ENT.com. Check it out. Go Bears, baby. Go Bears.
I think people are starting to understand the function of the show. Promote yourself. You're a fan, and we're talking about the NFL. That's what brings people together. Speaking of that, I want to talk on the quarterback because there's this quarterback in LA. He looked good, and I saw him up close and personal, and I was wrong. JB, I owe you an apology, bro.
Yo, he's doing well. How you doing tonight, Alex?
I'm good, JB. Hey, real talk. Justin Herbert, 264 yards, 4 touchdowns, rookie for a Monday Night Football playoff. What's going on?
Looks comfortable. He's got the bye week this week to practice and get more comfortable with the first unit where he's got a couple of weeks in hand. I think he's just going to keep getting better as the season goes on. You know,
I love his footwork, and he's cerebral. He takes shots. He's not scared, bro. He took shots against Tampa. He took shots against Carolina. He took multiple shots against New Orleans. Is a deep ball a regular thing for him?
He can throw it, and I think the thing about him where he's a little bit ahead of everybody else, he had no pressure coming into the year. No one expected him to come out and start week 2, week 3. Now that he's starting every week, he doesn't have the same pressure that Joe Burrow has on him because no one was expecting him to play right now. So he's already ahead of where he was supposed to be.
All right, so no Keenan Allen, that's going to hurt. But this guy's utilizing his weapons. Jalen Guyton, Ty Johnson, love Hunter Henry with Justin Herbert at the helm. Oh, and Mike Williams, looking like the Clemson product he's supposed to be. I love the bye week, but let's stick with Herbert. What are your expectations this year?
I think he's just going to keep getting better, and he's going to lead the team. These close losses eventually are going to start to turn around. With the defense starting to play better, they're going to start winning games, and they have a shot at that 7th or 6th wild card spot.
It's funny. I thought I might have mentioned that they could be a lone sleeper for that 7th spot. If they can turn it around, they're the best looking 1-4 team I've seen in a very long time.
Without a doubt. I mean, you've changed 2 plays in 2 of those games. They're 3-2.
JB, let the people know what's going on, where they can find you. And, bro, what you do the Journey with the Jays, right?
Yes, with John Sure. So we're on Journey with the Jays on Atlanta Real 1100. Also, YouTube and Facebook Live. Follow us on Twitter, Journey with the 3. Also, the program, you can follow me at Twitter at JB_the program. Definitely check out the shows. We're actually starting this Sunday. We're going to have an NFL pregame show, 12 to 12:30 on Real 1100 as well.
Let them know. That's JB Ellis. Get with the program. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you, Alex. Good luck. Have a good one.
All right. Hey, did anybody see that Miami-San Francisco game last week? Jerry, did you see that game? Is Jerry in the house? Jerry, you know what? To hell with me. Speak on it. Someone's on mute. My bad. Let's get him off of mute.
There we go.
Jerry, do you think?
That was a beautiful game. Wow, it's Christmas too. We follow that up with the Jets. I'll get into that in a minute. But 154.5 passer rating for Ryan Fitzpatrick. We scored 5 field goals, which we did in Seattle, and then 4 touchdowns. Put the cherry on top. They couldn't stop us. Our defense was where it was supposed to be. Secondary was taking care of things that they needed to. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. And then we get a little bit of a schedule switch around, change up the plans for this week when I go down for the game. But now I get to watch the Dolphins beat up on the Jets and Crazy-Eye Gase with no Le'Veon Bell. Our worst part is stopping the run, and they did a great job in San Francisco this week. They only let up 100 yards. It's wow. You just can't get better than this.
You wearing a Christmas hat. You are no good. So I'm going to be in Jacksonville. You're going to Miami. Bro, give me a prediction for the game and a player to watch.
All right. Miami's definitely going to win this one. The way they've been averaging points and putting up almost 28 points a game, I'm going to say they put down 35 on the Jets and hold them to maybe 17. I'll give them a little bit of credit that they get something in there. We're still young. We're still working some things out. But, yeah, I'm real excited about this. Oh, and then for players, man, Myles Gaskin's been stepping up. Preston Williams. I mean, he's coming out looking strong again. You know, he was injured last season. He's had a slow start, but we can see what he can do now, and that relieves Devontae Parker to open up. Gesicki's been the man. He's been doing great lately, actually catching the ball, getting touchdowns. You got to love that when he holds on to it. We've got some nice young parts that are starting to work together. I'm excited for when Tua comes out soon.
Jerry, you guys are 1 year ahead of schedule. I don't know what the hell's going on, but keep doing what you're doing.
I'm liking it. You know, only half a game back from second place in the AFC East.
True. All right, Jerry, have fun. Drive safe. I'll see you next week.
Look forward to it, brother.
Man, wearing a Christmas hat. You see, that's the beautiful thing. That's the love you have for your team. That's passion. That's heart. You can call that freaky sometimes. Speaking of freaky, let's check in on Freaky L. John, are you in the house, brother?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. What's going on, my man?
Talk to me about your Baltimore Ravens, and congratulations, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you. As I mentioned last week, we were obviously going to win that game. Made Joe Burrow look like a rookie, the only team to do that so far. So this team, although we're not clicking on all cylinders yet, it's kind of early in the season. That's scary for the rest of the league, considering that the only game we lost was to the Chiefs, and we haven't even hit our stride yet with all these injuries and everything. That's scary.
Hey, you know what else is scary? The fact that Mark Ingram has rarely been used, and now he's kind of faded in mediocrity because that running game is so potent. But Lamar Jackson only had 2 yards rushing last week, and you guys still pull off a victory. Now he gets to eat because the running game is going to be facing the Philadelphia Eagles, and you can get the passing game going because you're facing the Philadelphia Eagles. Speak on it.
All right, so I'm sorry, Eric, you can't be here to defend your Eagles, but Miles Sanders had about 74. I think it was 70 areas.
What'd you say? I can't what?
Eric, we don't have time. He's got to go. We don't have time. He's got to go.
You can't call somebody out and expect somebody not, and then I show up. No, wait. Look, Alex,
that's like your Eagles. They don't show up.
Hold on, Alex. You can sit this one out. Thank you very much. Okay, so you want to talk, sir? Go ahead.
Yes.
Your 2 minutes starts now. Please, go ahead.
Look, Miles Sanders hasn't started off the year well. The guy had about 74 of his, I think it was 80 yards last week on one run. Now, granted, it was against the Steelers' great defense, but your team just doesn't look great. They had a chance to win that game, which kudos to them, but they can't finish games, much like a lot of other teams in the league. They're not going to win the NFC East, even without Dak there. They're just not going to win it. Carson Wentz looks lost. Zach Ertz looks old. I'm not sure why. And the Ravens haven't even hit their stride. Patrick Queen destroyed Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow looks better than Carson Wentz right now this year. And we destroyed Joe Burrow. Carson Wentz hasn't even done anything this year. And you're going up against Patrick Queen in that defense, which has been carrying the Ravens. And once that offense gets going, who's going to stop the Ravens? The Chiefs, they got lucky once, but the Chiefs are another story, another day. But I mean, I'm curious what you have to say about your Eagles against this vaunted Ravens defense, and obviously Lamar Jackson. Who's going to stop him? Fletcher Cox looks old.
Okay,
he can't even get up after diving.
I'm gonna do like Kevin Hart from Philadelphia. Are you done? Are you done? Oh, okay. All right. So let me get down to business right here. Please understand one simple thing. We know what our problems are. See, take care of your own house before you start coming into mine. Let me just say that to you first and foremost, my brother. Now, listen, with all due respect, Lamar Jackson, I'm going to remove him from the equation because we know what he is. He is a Jackson 5 touchdown kind of guy at any given moment. Mark Andrews, his security blanket, Linus, if you will, is very healthy and arguably going to be one of the top tight ends in the league. However, the fact that Alex spoke on something speaks to my mind. Where has Mark Ingram been? This is a man who typically in the first couple of weeks, he sets himself apart from the rest of the running backs. And this year, I'd rather go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the rookie. I'd rather go with my man, AJ, Aaron Jones, or I would even go with Ezekiel Elliott. And I'm not a Cowboys fan. We all know this. So make no mistake about it. If Mike McCarthy would utilize him properly, make no mistake about it. At 4-1, you are exactly where you should be. I and my team am not where we need to be. But make no mistake about it, we will not lay down to the Baltimore Ravens or anybody else. So as much as we respect each other and I respect Baltimore, please understand, you back us into a corner, we are in for a fight.
The only guy that I'm worried about this Sunday, but Baltimore
Travis
has a great
Fulgham?
secondary. Travis Fulgham. That's
That's
the
it.
only guy
That's-
that I'm worried about this Sunday because I
my
love
boy.
him.
That's my
Absolutely
boy.
love that guy. But that's the only guy I'm worried about on your offense right now, as of right now. I'm not worried about Miles Sanders because he had one run that accounted for almost all the yards. And he hasn't looked like the same guy.
I'll give you that. But what I'm saying to you is until I see more of Mark Ingram, the running back positions for both our teams is a wash. I'm going to get Alex back in and I'm going to do what I do, but I was not going to let you just come in here and start talking about me and not let me do my thing. I'm sorry. Alex, there you go, brother. I'm out. I'm out of here like last year. Peace.
See, that's what happens. That's a Philly fan for you. They just, for real. Hey, John, do you?
All right, as JB previously mentioned, we are on Journey with the Jays. We are on Real 1100 AM. You can download the app to check that out. You can listen to that on the radio. We're also going to be doing a NFL show on Sundays from 12 to 12:30, covering the Atlanta Falcons and covering the NFL. Each week, we'll be covering the teams for a preview. So you can check us out there. Check me out on Twitter, BlueHawks13, and then anywhere you can find Journey with the Jays, just go to your social media and you can find us there. Thank you very much for having me on, Alex. I appreciate it.
Carousel, yeah. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, this the carousel. On or you off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. What? Knock 'em out. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, this the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. What? Knock 'em out.
All right, so there's been some change happening in the AFC. We can always thank the big three for making it harder to make it to that pendulum top of the AFC because it was always Brady, Peyton, and Big Ben. Well, Brady is now in the NFC, getting ready to retire. Peyton's been gone, and Ben is at the end of his career. Entering the new pantheon of greatness in the AFC. I'm keeping my eye on Herbert. You already talked about El Freaky. And then there's Patrick Mahomes, Mr. Ketchup, who didn't look like himself last week, separated, having to live in a hotel room because he's not taking chances. I guess Miss Matthews is pregnant. Oh, yeah, that's right, she is. Suffered their first loss since November to the Vegas Raiders, divisional. That hurts. But KC played well. Kobe, are you in the house?
Yes, I'm here, guys. Thank you for having me on. I'm subbing in for my mom. But, yeah, did suffer our first loss of the season. But besides a really bad PI by the Raiders and a holding penalty, the Chiefs would have put up probably another 14 points and probably would have walked out here with a shootout in Arrowhead. So there's that on there. There's that. But did losing Kelechi Osemele really early in the game, blew in both his tendons, was a big loss. He was a beast on our offensive line as a free agent coming in to replace opt out, but the Chiefs did put up a thing. I do think we are underutilizing our first round pick, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I feel like we're not using him as well as we should. Bringing in Le'Veon Bell will help us in that category, but if we can't get off and establish a run early, then it doesn't help us. I mean, I think it's a nice what we're doing, but we need to use more screen passes to get him involved.
I'm glad you mentioned your brand new addition. All right, now let's keep it real. One cat sat out because of COVID. That's fine. Darrell Williams is definitely a backup. Clyde Edwards-Helaire looks like a number one. I mean, other than facing Bill Belichick, he's looked good. He was decent against the Raiders. He was, but that's all right. You're a rookie. You can't really expect much. The pros and cons of signing Le'Veon Bell.
I think the pros, you bring a mentor in who's been one of the, Le'Veon Bell is definitely not what he was in Pittsburgh. I think we're all going to agree with that. But you can bring in the patience and give CH or Clyde Edwards a mentor and a voice to kind of help him out as he did to James Conner. I think the cons for Le'Veon Bell, it's more on Le'Veon Bell is he's not going to be the main guy, and he is not going to get as much money as probably Miami was going to offer him, and he's not going to probably get the touches, and his yards are going to probably go down, but he's going to benefit from possibly going to a Super Bowl and getting a ring.
All right. So you guys are playing Buffalo. You're going to have to score points. You know that, and I know that. What's a hot take on the KC offense? Who are you watching right now? Obviously, it's Mahomes. That's too easy. Give me somebody else.
I have Mecole Hardman. If Tre'Davious White's out, it's going to open up for our passing game. We know Travis Kelce's unstoppable no matter who you put on him. He's proven that time and time again. If Tre'Davious White is out, I think that opens up for Tyreek Hill. But Mecole Hardman, our second speedster on our team, has quietly been doing a lot of work. And last year he had a very successful rookie campaign. I think he's waiting for his big game to match up against corners. And there's only way you can beat speed is Jim at the line. But even then, it's proven that it's hard to stop our offense.
All right. That's real talk. Now, do me a favor. Be honest. What do you think about that KC defense, bro?
On the surface, people might say it's really bad, but we do have the third best passing defense in the league. It didn't help that we had a couple blown coverages against the Raiders, and when you're going against Henry Ruggs, who is one of the fastest players in the league, you're going to get burned by him. It's just going to happen. I think we're not getting pass rush. Chris Jones disappeared. Our Frank Clark disappeared. We weren't getting as much pressure on the Raiders, but they do have a very powerful offensive line. You have 6'7", a 6'7" tackle for him that's like 330, and he's a beast. Trent Brown is who I was thinking of. Excuse me, not Trent Brown. The linebacking core did lose Anthony Hitch for a little bit coming back in the game, but hurt. The linebacking core has definitely disappointed us so far this year.
All right, now let me be honest with you. I gotta be real. You guys are facing the Buffalo Bills this week. Like, all right, let's be honest with each other. Buffalo's no pushover, and they just took their first L against the undefeated Tennessee Titans squad. Bro, what's your expectations going up against Buffalo, knowing that they were previously undefeated and this is a good team?
I think it's not going to be a cakewalk by any sense, but I think the Chiefs can come in and push them around. We don't have Derrick Henry, of course, but if you can go in and challenge Josh Allen to get into a shoot-off, you only have to cover Stephon Diggs and a couple people, and I don't think Josh Allen's prepared to face a shoot-off against Patrick Mahomes. Not many quarterbacks can win that. Proven. And I think you just have to force him into a passing matchup and just do your best to keep up.
All right, now, Kobe, you're new on the Carousel, and I thank you for jumping on, but I have a friend of mine by the name of Mookie Hawkins. He covers and writes for the Buffalo Bills, and he's been trying to tell people ever since we were at the Combine what the real deal is about Joshy Boucher and the rest of the crew of the Buffalo Bills. I'm grown to like them. They just suffered their first L, so I'm under the assumption you're going to get their best challenge. What do you expect out of this Buffalo Bills offense?
A high-powered offense by Devil Singletary, Zach Moss are two great running backs. They complement each other. A very well-built offensive line. Josh Allen is no scrum. He will pass the ball with precision. Stephon Diggs is definitely the wide receiver they've been needing for a while. With Josh Brown's speed on the other outside, and then Cole Beasley in the slot is a very nice, underrated wide receiver core. And they're going to put up points.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. Is my dog Mookie in the house? Uh-oh.
Hey.
Uh-oh. How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
All right. So I knew on the NFL schedule Kansas City was playing Buffalo, and he kept it respectful, but I don't think he know you like that. Mookie, let him know. What's going on?
Oh, man. You see what I'm wearing, right? That's all I see is red. That's all I see is red. Chiefs wear red. We wear red. That's all I see is red. Gonna go for blood this Monday. Very embarrassing loss. Kansas City took a embarrassing loss too. You know what I mean? So, we'll see which mental, who's more mentally tough. But we give them credit. They are the Super Bowl champs, but I guess what? We not here to kiss their damn rings neither. All right, we ain't here to kiss their damn rings. You know, for the first, you're going to see what you should have saw last year. You know what I mean? But you know, we wasn't mature enough to join that party. But I think now we are. Don't get misconstrued on what happened in Tennessee and just all of a sudden think that Kansas City is just going to come in here and do what they've been doing. That is not going to happen. All right, a lot of people didn't play, and best believe the antennas is up. Them boys gonna be ready to prove something on Monday afternoon, not Monday night. You know what I mean? Y'all got Le'Veon Bell. You know what I mean? We get y'all that. You know what I mean? But we fine in that department. We just gotta get our run game on track. You better hope that Kansas City defense don't be the first one to get that.
All right, Kobe, I don't know how good you are on trash talking, but welcome to the Carousel. Let's have a nice, friendly debate. Kansas City, I believe, is on the road, or are you guys at home?
Yes. No, we're on the road.
Oh, excellent. So you will go first. You'll have 2 minutes to state your claim and talk a little trash about the Buffalo Bills. The problem is when you're done, Mookie is going to do the exact same thing to your team. All right? You're on the road. After that, we'll have 45 seconds apiece. Kobe, may the force be with you.
With Mookie's point, the Chiefs do have a very bad run defense, but I think we can definitely pull it over. Going over some stats, the Chiefs are 4-1 on Monday Night Football with Patrick Mahomes under the helm, only loss being the shootout against the Los Angeles Rams 2 years ago. The Chiefs do average 20 points per game against the Bills since 2013 when Andy Reid took over the helm against the Chiefs. The Chiefs this year are averaging 29.8 points per game, and the Bills are far behind the pack in 27.8 points per game. The Chiefs have a plus five in the turnover department when the Bills are -3 in the turnover differential, and the Chiefs have forced a turnover in all 5 of their first games. The Chiefs did lose Cleveland Osemele, as I did point out, but having Mike Rimmer step in and having a full week of game playing against that will definitely benefit the Chiefs' offensive line. We will not see Le'Veon Bell this week, a very small limited workload next week, most likely. With Anthony Hitchens being questionable, we'll look out for a second-round pick, Willie Gay Jr., who's a very good pass coverage linebacker, and we have not yet to see him yet. This could be a breakout game for him. The Bills could be losing Tre'Davious White and one of their starting middle linebackers, which could be a big loss going against this high-powered Kansas City offense. And the Chiefs have Go ahead.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. Hey, Mookie, I'm going to say it like Lil Wayne. Marley, don't shoot him. Do your thing.
I mean, yeah, you know, those are all valid points. You know, since we throwing numbers out, one number you did forget to put out there: Raiders 40, Kansas City 32. You forgot to put that one out there, didn't you? You forget that we destroyed the Raiders in Vegas. Okay, do you understand? Okay, yeah, Matt Milano might not play, but Tremaine Edmonds is going to be out there. All right, Tre'Davious White is going to be out there. You're going to see. I mean, if y'all don't believe what's going to happen this week, just watch. I mean, at the end of the day, who's checking Steph Diggs? Nobody can check him. Y'all got to throw 7 to 8 people back in coverage. And once the Bills figure that out, once they figure that, okay, teams are going to start dropping off into 7 to 8 man zones, then okay, do your delay draws with your running back and your quarterback. And then a guy like Cole Beasley is going to go to work. All right, so, you know, John Brown will be out there this week. Best believe all guns will be ablazing on Monday. All right, not Monday night, Monday. Our guns are going to be ablazing. And one quick stat, Sean McDermott did beat his sensei in 2017. And, you know, right now, he's going to be 2-0 come Monday. Because, I mean, you know, we got a lot to prove. You know, Kansas City, y'all got speed. Y'all got speed, but it's time to run into some brick walls. All right. So, you know, this is gonna be the coming out party. All right, the guys gotta put up and shut up, and you know, here we go on Monday. We're gonna see what numbers prove to be the best.
All right, Mookie, thank you. That's probably the most respectful I've seen Mr. Hockey be against an opponent, so he must like you. You have 45 seconds. The best thing about Kansas City is the offense. Bro, go.
You talk about blazing. The Chiefs do have the fastest offense in the NFL with two players running under 4.24s. So I don't think you need to use the word blazing. I think we have burning speed and we can burn DBs like anyone else. You talk about the 2017 loss. That was with Alex Smith at the home. We only scored 10 points with a very bad play calling and not with Mr. Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has never lost a game more than 8 points. So one possession game. He has proven he can lead his team from comebacks and about any adversity, coming back 10 points in the Super Bowl and 24 points, down 24 points and nothing to the divisional round. I think this team is ready and is ready to have a fist fight.
Mookie, finish it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a slug match. Both teams then got an L underneath their belt, so they can get over, with that, being undefeated or a top elite team. Everybody got that out of the way now. So, we're not invincible. They're not invincible. It's all about, who was ready to bounce back, in championship form. You know what I mean? That who's ready to get back into contented play. We understand that Kansas City is Super Bowl champion, but hey, this is our benchmark to see where we at are we a legit contender right now? So coming off the loss, playing the defending champ, I like where we are with that. We don't come in big headed. You know what I mean? We don't come in big headed. We come in a little bit more focused. You know what I mean? I'm being nice today because I know this is not my guy's thing. You know what I mean? So I'm be nice today. Tomorrow might not be.
Beautiful. Kobe, let the people know who you represent and where they can find you so I can finish it off with Mookie. Good job, young man.
Thank you guys for finding me on Instagram at Chastain, and that's about it. I'm not on Facebook. I do have a Facebook account, but I'm not a Facebook person. That's about it. Thank you for having me on to the show today. It was really fun.
Thank you, sir. Hey, Mookie, putting in that work. Let them have it. Take 30 to a minute, bro.
Hey, man, y'all can always check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Wuffo Sports. That's WUFO Sports. You can also hit me up on Bills World. Anything you see Bills World, that's me, Bills _capital WRLD. We are definitely in the building. All right, we might take that L, but hey, it's 2 L's in believe. That's what we're going to do against those Chiefs. Knock them boys right off, man. So, holla at your boy, man.
Thank you, Mr. Hawkins. Now, every now and then I get a special guest, and I want to bring in a gentleman who does work in, on, and off the fields. Yes, multidimensional. Can you please bring me Gerald Hessler to the show?
Hey, my man, Alex. How you doing, man?
How you doing, sir? How you doing? Hey, bro, first and foremost, let the people know who you are, what you do, where you at.
Okay, well, thank you for having me. First and foremost, Alex, I really appreciate you, and I'm sorry being so late. My name is Gerald Hessler. I am the owner of Gerald Hessler Sports Consulting. I also host a podcast called Gerald's Journal, where we talk about sports, current events, and we focus on ethics and decision making amongst players, personnel in different organizations, from all the way from recreation all the way to the pro level, man.
All right. So since you let them know that you legit and business and a future doctor, let's just talk football.
Let's talk
who's your team? What are you watching Sunday? And what do you think the state of the NFL currently is?
All right. Great questions. Great questions. Well, first of all, if you can see this right here, I'm representing Ville Life. That's Fayetteville, NC. So I'm an NC guy. Carolina is my squad. I am actually stunningly surprised. The pickups with Bridgewater, and I knew my man Anderson, Robbie Anderson, was going to be a nice addition, but I was hating when we let go Cam. But Bridgewater has been doing a great job of maintaining the game, maintaining the offense, not doing a lot of turnovers, doing great with passing yards. Not a lot of interceptions. I'm really surprised. I really didn't know how he really was going to be because we haven't seen him in a full season, although he's been a baller since he's came in. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the NFC South and seeing how we're going to match up against these stronger teams like Tampa Bay and the Saints in the future.
All right. Carolina Panthers 3-2. Those kitty cats are legit. And you know how I feel about Teddy Two Gloves. I do. Now, look, I'm from Chicago. I live in Florida. And something tells me I don't like this matchup against the Carolina Panthers because of their speed.
Ooh.
Am I crazy or something?
You know what? I don't know what it is. Like I just mentioned, and Robbie Anderson. What I think happened was he bought out the competitiveness in DJ Moore and Samuel. So we've been seeing the outcoming party for Samuel as a veteran wide receiver, and DJ Moore, which we thought he was the number one, but he had a lot of hiccups his last 2 seasons. And you mentioned speed. We're down CMC, but our backup running back, have been really producing. So that looks like it's going to take some light off of CMC, and we're going to have a plethora of players ready to step up and help us, compete against these bigger teams. But that speed is going to be definitely an issue.
Right on. Okay, now be real with me.
Right.
You know the ins and outs of the game. COVID, election year, and what's been currently going on. How does the NFL play a role in all of this?
Whew. So that's the big question. Earlier in the season, Alex, they spoke so much or so highly about how much money they spent, how much time they invested into the COVID protocol. And this thing is like none other. I think the best, outlet is how the NBA has taken in creating a bubble. I think that's really going to affect players' longevity because we're going to see long-term effects from this as well. And players are catching these left and right now. We're seeing a lot of facilities going down as players are catching COVID. This is a real issue, and they looked down at players that had a raise the eyebrow to it earlier, and now we're seeing it a lot in the NFL right now here in present. My guess is, I heard they're going to try to do a bubble type atmosphere for the playoffs, but it's something they're going to have to tackle, and we're going to have to address like right now, because we can't continue to see players, down and they're reshuffling in the middle of the season. It's throwing everything off.
All right. One more question, and then I'll have to close this out. Can the Panthers pull this off? Now that there's 7 teams instead of 6 teams, they're 3-2. All right. So, they right there. Nobody expected this. Can they steal a playoff spot?
Definitely. You don't think so? So I hate I came on late and I just heard the young man talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. Just like that is a prime example. The Kansas City Chiefs is definitely a stronger squad than the Los Angeles Raiders. But on any given Sunday, anything can happen. Y'all saw the movie. Any given Sunday. So the way we're playing, we're maintaining games. Our running game looks pretty good. Our passing game looks good. Our defense doesn't look as horrible as I thought. We can definitely surprise somebody. In North Carolina.
All right, let them know about that pop-up shop on the side. Mr. Hessler, take 30 seconds. Let them know where they can find you, what you do, and Carolina. It's you.
So, man, I'm just a young man trying to be like Alex Fleming, man. I'm trying to get my things together. So what I do is we have a pop-up shop where I have beautiful minds of sports, just not sports related, but outside of sports, political, social matters. And we do a pop-up shop. So stay tuned to Alex's page. Stay tuned to my page, which is Gerald Hessler is my personal page, and Gerald Hessler Sports Consulting is my business page. Just stay tuned to that. We do a pop-up shop every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, and we discuss what's going on in all areas of sports, from the NFL, NBA, MLB. We'll talk some NASCAR. Shoot, we'll talk badminton. Whatever's going on, we're going to discuss it, and we're going to have a ball with it. You're going to love it. Just join it, man. Just stay tuned to Alex Fleming, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the love. Hey, one love. Good luck this Sunday. Man. I'm not rooting against you. I just can't root for you.
Good. Hey, good luck to y'all too. I'm with you, man.
And that's the love of the carousel. We got people from North Carolina, Texas, Montana, the Philippines. Yeah, that's right. Y'all ain't doing that. Carousel NFL at Twitter. If you think you can hop on, shout out to the Bills Beat, InfoCube, Unlimited Sports. It's a football world. We just live in it. NFC South, Daniel Spot. I'm not going to mention it. I've been banned. Oh, and guys, the Bucks, the Jags, the Dolphins, Jerry Festola, the Houston H-Town Real Runners. Good luck tonight. It's the Carousel. Either you're on or you're off.
Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out. Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off.